What up, YouTube? Is your boy King Pookie coming in the house talking about the Chicago Bears win over the Detroit Lions this Sunday. The score was 24-14. Bears. Um, you know, everybody, we didn't know who was gonna be the starter for the game. Is Andy Dalton gonna be ready? With his knee injury. We all knew that it was gonna be Justin Fields, and we had to wait until like last minute. It was game. They wouldn't announce who's. It was a game decision, so on Saturday night is when we found out who was gonna be the starter, and Justin Fields. And Justin this is will be his first home game as a starter, and like last weekend against the Browns, he had a horrible game. And man, it was a awful performance by Matt Nagy's play calling, and he gave the play calling to Bill Lazors because he even said it in the press conference. He gave the play calling to Bill Lazor. Yeah, yeah, Matt Nagy. Yeah, you gave them. Did you see that they played better this time than they did in the Browns game? What? So I mean, can you tell that it worked for Bill Lazor and Matt Nagy? You just hand you dollar menu, Denny's dollar menu. He was like, I mean, if it weren't for Bill Lazor last year, this guy's gonna have to save your job again. For now, because if we lost to the Lions, oh man, it would have been on a high seat. So, yeah, you better be thanking for Bill Lazor. So, but yeah, so yeah, Justin Fields, he had, oh man, a hell of a game. I didn't see the game. I had to work, so I watched the recording. He had 11 completions, 17 attempts, and 209 yards and no touchdowns. But man, he threw some balls to Darnell Mooney. They were like, I was like, oh my god! He a 63-yard butter to Darnell Mooney. I was like, I wish he had more reps with A Rob, because he did give some balls to A Rob, but he didn't catch them. But he did have one good play, but and that was I was like, wow, man, he caught that ball, man. That was a good play, because it reminded me of the days like when Justin Fields was with Ohio State University. But yeah, Montgomery had 22 carries, 23 carries, 106 yards, an average 4.6, and he had two touchdowns. He had the two touchdowns. But yeah, suddenly, what happens? He got injured in the game, so we don't, he got injured. I think it was like at the end of the game or something like that. So, yeah, we found out by the MRI that he's gonna be out for a couple weeks. I mean, we wish we had, Mike Davis still with the Bears. We had somebody doing, because last year when he was with the Panthers, he was killing it. I wish he was like that with the Bears. Performance. But and then it would have been nice if we had Juwan Howard still on the Bears. But no, Matt Nagy didn't want to give the ball to um to Jordan. I mean to the forgot what his name is. The guy from that went to the Eagles. Jordan Howard. Yeah, he didn't want to give the ball to Jordan Howard. So yeah, man, it would have been nice. So would it be out with David Montgomery? Man, he was killing it. Man, he was man, he scored two rushing touchdowns. Man. So, man, we don't know what's gonna happen. How long is he gonna be out? If the new guy, I think is Ornal might take over, or this new guy might take over for the more snaps. For the for rushing, for the receipt. Rush. But yeah, and then the defense, we had like Khalil Mack. He did get injured. We saw him on the side. He did get. I think his ribs injured, but everybody gave him a lot of flag last year and a couple years like that. He's not the same old Khalil Mack. And who else did I'm having him? Robert Quinn, the guy that everybody hated last year because he had only 2 sacks through the whole season, and Brian Pace gave him all that money, and he did, he was awful. So yeah, man, that guy, he's just turning it around. I'm surprised with Robert Quinn. I imagine he's gonna be the Chicago Bears Player of the Year. He's already got four, I think 4.5, I think sacks or something like that. But yeah, I mean, even the season's still young, and we still have a lot of way to go. So he could probably get more sacks. So I mean, but yeah, he's gonna turn around, and yeah, as I said, that Darnell Mooney and Justin Fields, man, throw bomb 63 yards, man. I was like, whoa, my God, I wish he did that more. So yeah, in the Browns game, but then, yeah, and then like in the press conference, it was so horrible. Matt Nagy, he goes, yeah, it was Bill Lazor that was making the calls. Well, duh. You just seen from last week's play calling to the play calling now. You imagine if we had the play calling like that, all year round, we could have been. Then um, so and then like we don't know who's. Hopefully, they make Justin Fields a starter quarterback in the Raiders game. Can man Nagy cannot go back to Andy Dalton just because he was injured, and he just cannot take the ball away from Justin Fields. He has the hot hand right now, so if he does something terrible, maybe bench him, but don't give the ball to Andy Dalton just because he got injured. He's Justin Fields gives us the chance to win the game, and we're playing against the Raiders, and Las Vegas, and they got a good defense and that stuff. So they're doing really good with cars. So yeah, but but this is gonna be the Cleo Mag Revenge Tour game. Let's just hope that he does better than he did last time when we played him in London. The revenge game, and show the Raiders that they should never traded Khalil Mack. And that's something we want. I think Khalil Mack wants to show it off to the Raiders and to the coaching staff, the head coach, you know that they made the worst decision ever getting rid of him. So yeah, but yeah, I cannot wait, and this is going to be the first game, the first time that the Bears played in SoFi Stadium. No, excuse me, Las Vegas new stadium, in that black hole, even the toilet bowl. As what all our Bears fans were about, we should call it. It's a toilet bowl. You know what it is, and but it's not a black hole. It's a toilet bowl. Yeah, and then I'm just wondering if what's her name, Virginia McCaskey is gonna be in there again. She's gonna man, another stadium that the Bears should have. We should have a stadium like that. That stadium is beautiful, man. So you imagine if we had that stadium, man, we would probably. We wish that the game was more better than it is. But hopefully Matt Nagy won't be the coach when we get this new stadium. I hope Justin Fields is still with the Bears. Like yeah, and not like how Trubisky was only here for 5 years. I'm just hoping that Justin Fields is the guy that everybody selected, and prove all the naysayers down. All the people said that he's gonna be a bust and that stuff. And even Bears fans think even said that they think that he's gonna be a bust. Just because he had a bad performance doesn't mean it is. So if he keeps playing like that, throwing those long balls, man, I'm like, he did better than Mr. Trubisky ever did. So man, we're gonna forget about Mitch Trubisky. I don't understand why we keep talking about this guy. He's not even with the Chicago Bears anymore. He's not in this team, and we're still talking about him, and he's still getting love in this town. So yeah. So the road's gonna be tough from now on, man. We as us we're playing the Raiders, then we play the Buccaneers, the Steelers, and that stuff. It's getting hot, but no, wait, the Steelers game, they could win that game too, because didn't the Steelers lose to the Green Bay Packers? So imagine, but yeah, and the 49ers, man, I don't know, they're like not like they lost their game, so we don't know, but yeah, just because we beat the Lions, that means we got to play way better than we did. We cannot take this game lightly. Just because we beat the cowardly Lions, now we have to compete with the elite and so on. Yeah, we need to beat the elite teams. So this is your boy King Pookie. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a huge thumbs up, and always bear down, Chicago Bears fans.